Hello everyone and welcome to this video. Today we have a sub request by Bob's Modeling Mayhem for the Stirling Mk I. And quite clearly it's some degree of mayhem because he decided to stuff me in this giant thing. Yeah, this isn't exactly a British bomber that we talk very much about because it wasn't that great. Now in theory this aircraft could be quite good, like look at the size of the damn thing. The problem is, it actually has lower bomb load than the Halifax, which is smaller than it. Sure, it has a few more gun coverage areas, but that's not gonna really do much. And yeah, this is a bit of an XP pinata these days. So hopefully we can at least do something with it. So going over to the armament, which is going to be the main thing that is going to be keeping us somewhat protected. We're obviously covered in 7.7 brandings. Remember, this thing was meant to fly at night. That's why it has this sort of coverage of weaponry, so to speak. It wasn't really meant to be well defended, because the guns are only there if necessary. Then, of course, we have a couple of machine guns back here. We have a singular machine gun down here, which, to be honest, doesn't really come up. And, well, are you really going to try and shoot someone with a single branding? And then, of course, we have the quad-mount tail turret, which, as you can see, 10,000 rounds. That's a lot. Let's put it that way. Coming over to the bomb load, this is where we get into this thing has less bomb load than the Halifax, because it has 9 1,000-pound bombs, 27 500-pound bombs, or 27 to 50-pound bombs. The Halifax can carry the same amount of 1,000-pound bombs plus a few 500-pounders. So you can definitely see where the Halifax is definitely preferred. Additionally, it doesn't exactly have a huge amount of armour. We have a little bit around the pilot, a little bit around the engine nacelles, but otherwise there's really nothing, and yeah, we're going to be not having a great day, to say the least. And don't worry, Bob's got another request, but at least it's a lot easier than this one. Originally, this was going to be a combo request, but obviously I don't have the original M3 grant. I only have the US grant, so that would have been impossible to do, but also impossible in the fact that you're putting a 2.7 tank into 5.0 matches, so yeah. Thankfully, Bob reversed that and gave me them separately, so yeah. Alright, let's get in and let's get this over and done with, because I really don't want to fly this plane, but as I say, I don't really make the choices these days. And yeah, this won't be fun, will it? And straight in it looks like. I'll look away for half a second. This is not going to be fun. But hey, I don't make the choices, do I? I don't get to choose what I fly. And yeah, this is not a fun aircraft to fly. I should know, I spaded both Stirlings when they were higher BR. So put that into your mind. Alright, let's get ourselves a little bit of altitude, although we're facing the Americans, so if they have even one XP-50, they will go for us, because they see a gigantic 4-engined British bomber. So yeah. So a little bit of history about the Stirling. We basically used these initially as heavy bombers, but obviously the Halifax was just doing the job better. And then we used them for a short time as paratrooper aircraft, which it did do that job pretty well, because it could carry a lot of passengers, so to speak. And then, of course, we turned it into mostly cargo and towing afterward, because, well, it was a bit outdated and didn't really have much room to grow. Then, of course, we had the Lancaster come along, and that really sealed the deal for this poor thing. I don't think this is a great aircraft design, and I know Americans are going to jump in the comments going, "Oh, it doesn't have 50 cals on it, that's why it's bad." Remember, we designed our bombers very differently, so just remember that. Well, it's going to take a few minutes to get further in, so I will see you in a few. Well, welcome back. As you can see, even with climbing, this thing just isn't fast enough to get up to a decent altitude, and, well, as I said, XP-50. the bomber in front of me, the T-18, got to drop his bombs, but because he's stuck, he didn't even get to kill the base. So I'm going to start dragging these guys down, because, well, that's all I can really do in this thing. I mean, it's the size of a small apartment block. What do you expect? I mean, it's got an alright dive for a heavy bomber, but the problem is the wings do not like this sort of move. I'm trying to bring them down for my team, but as you can see, a good chunk of the team is chasing a B-25, because, well, bomber zombies. And unfortunately, I can't turn any harder, otherwise I will rip this thing to bits. So yeah, I'm even offering the team a couple of kills, but they just don't want to take it, and, well, what happens when a yak gets too close? Especially in 9P, that's probably got a 37 on board. Alright, Nigel. Let's do this. Dude, you're literally close enough to hit this thing like a country... Like, if you can't hit me from that range... I was gonna say... He had the 37. Yeah, this is just the life of a Stirling these days, because they refuse to drop this thing's BR. Alright, match 2. See you shortly. And welcome to match 2. At least we might have a chance of dropping something this time, and not just being blown apart. Yeah, unfortunately the Stirling just doesn't have the climb. If I was in a Halifax, I wouldn't have outclimbed the XP50, but I'd have outclimbed the other two. Like, that's the advantage of the, that's the advantage of them. But, like I said, the Halifax is just the better plane. So yeah, unfortunately this is just one of those planes that Gaijin could help, but the problem is because of the design concept of British bombers, they won't have that help properly until Gaijin really, like, you know, fix, like, overall things for bombers, you know, like, I think I might do a video talking about it in the future. Like, I know it's been covered before, like bombers and in War Thunder and stuff like that. Like, it has been covered before, but like, there's a lot of wiggle room. There's a lot of things that we could do to help these strategic bombers. Because, I'm sorry, but this plane is just not very good, and it never really has been. But it could have the chance to do something better, you know, like. A lot of the planes that aren't great could have that chance. You know, it's just one of those things that you can talk about, and I'll be honest, I've had a few ideas of it. So in the comments, let me know what you think. Should I do that? Should I go ahead and talk about stuff that Gaijin could do to help strategic bombers like this and the B-17 and other things like that? Because I'll be honest, it's grossly overdone, but I do have some opinions of my own. Alright, so immediately we've already got a bomber zombie heading right for us, so that's a wonderful start. So let's at least try and get some bombs out. Because, well, we've not done any bombing yet, and, well, I'd rather try and do something. The problem is Mr. Zombie there is going to want our ass very quickly, so I'm going to time this good, to put it simply. So it's going to be 2 bombs for the target, but I'm going to drop 3 just to lighten a bit more weight. I'm going to pitch up just to try and pull myself out of his guns. The key word there was try. But, because XP50 players are Muppets, and of course, he's still not frickin' dead. It's torn apart most of my tail. I can't shoot back for some reason. Oh no, the tail gun has jammed his guns. There we go. We actually survived that somehow, so that's at least something. I don't know how we survived that, but that's the bomber zombie dealt with. There is one advantage. If you do take a hit, you can see that there's a lot of open space. Like, there's not critical components, so to speak, on this thing. There isn't many, and you really have to go for a wing saw, like the Yak did. Or a tail slash off, like, things like that. Obviously, we're missing a bit of the tail, but, like, you know, it's something you can consider. Alright, let's get the rest of these bombs out. And as you can see, the entire team's dead, which is another thing that this thing doesn't have going for it. Because the teams die very quickly, or it dies very quickly. There's no real in-between. So we're pretty badly damaged. I'm going to try and get this thing back, but, well... You know, there's a B-17 there. If I don't do at least one bit of bomber gunshipping, I don't think I'm doing this thing any offer. Like, I'm not doing this thing any favours, am I? So our bombs hit the mark and did a decent amount of damage to the airfield. Is that B-17 missing a wing? He is. I'm surprised he's still flying, to be honest. Okay, well he's not anymore. Might as well try to get an assist off it. Okay, for some reason that counted me as the severe damage. All I did was just tap him with the 7.7s, but if you really want to give me that, Gaijin, sure. I'll take it. I literally just hit him with like 2 7.7s and I get kill credit. I mean, I'll take it, but, you know, our entire team is dead. All that's left is the Wyvern. Alright, let's see if we can get this thing down on the runway. At least that would be a silver lining, I suppose. Although, the Marauder's right there. Yeah, fuck it, let's do it. Alright, turrets in front, here we go. Come on in, ladies, let's party. I got one of his gunners. I mean, you see a British bomber, you're obviously going to go for it, but like, yeah, this is just how it is, unfortunately, flying a plane like this. I'm going to try and get this thing on the runway, but, well, given that the Wyvern is dragging all of these planes straight towards me, I don't think that's going to happen. And don't worry, for those who are thinking it, I'm going to land and J out, because I don't camp runways. It's not exactly a nice thing to do to your fellow players, in my opinion. I mean, I didn't expect to survive this long, but, you know, that's at least something. We've outlasted what I thought we would. Alright, I'm gonna get this thing on the ground, and I'll see you in a few, because, well, this might not be a pretty landing, let's put it that way. See you in a few. And welcome back to the hangar. So, as is expected, we managed to land the plane, and the Wyvern was just running and dragging out the match. He was originally going to camp, but then he just decided running is better, I suppose. I don't know. I still think he should have just joined me and landed in Jada. We wasn't winning that game. But yeah, this is the life of a Stirling, I'm afraid. It kind of sucks, and, well, until Gaijin fix these sorts of planes, yeah, you're not exactly going to be getting a whole lot in terms of use out of this thing. All you're really going to be is just target practice for people, but as you saw with the XP50, even target practice can sometimes benefit you. And I'm still confused about that B-17, how we got a kill credit for it, but hey, I'm going to take it. I reckon he snapped his wing off in a high G maneuver and was trying to keep it in the air, and Gaijin must have thought I did the damage. That's probably what happened there. But anyway, I'm going to leave you all to it for today. Really hope you enjoyed seeing the Stirling B Mark 1 featured, and also me suffering a bit, as per usual. And I will see you all on the next one.